And welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Hope Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and today is March 10th, 2015, and we have a little bit of newsity for you today. Instead of hooking up the other cameras, I decided to go with the one on the computer, so I can sit here and read through my newsity, because I've got a lot of show notes. So just bear with me on that, okay? Let's start this up with a little bit of animation news, because there's a lot of newsity out there. If you're a fan of The Last Unicorn, there's an enchanted edition of the Blu-ray of The Last Unicorn coming out in June from Shout Factory, and both the Blu-ray and this time the DVD will be uncensored this time. The other bit of news is that, well, there's a little bit at the end of their little press release and stuff. They were talking about 4 different points, which I'm going to go over right now. As of March 1st, 2015, all roadblocks to making a live-action film deal for The Last Unicorn went away. So if you're a fan of that and you want to see a live-action version of it, well, here's what happened. ITV and AVI Sena Development Corporation, the people who own the intellectual property for Peter S. Beagle, have agreed to put all their respective Last Unicorn rights together into a single unified platform. Think of it like the account system everybody wants Nintendo to do, where it's attached to one thing and one thing only. Anyways, they're doing that so that they can finally reunify everything that was split up so horribly by the original film deal in 1978, which screwed everyone over. Which is weird because it got released in 1982 in theaters, but the deal was made in 1978 and just, ugh. While that's being done, they now have the go-ahead to start dealing with Hollywood companies directly. On behalf, well, anyways, Connor, his publicist and stuff, has the permission to go and do that directly. So they're now talking with producers, and there's nobody attached to it yet. There used to be at one point, back when everything was all split up, but now that everything's all put back together into one thing, into one big old ball of stuff, it's, well, they're going to finally be able to go ahead with it. Hopefully they're just going to make one movie and we're not going to see some type of weird Last Unicorn cinematic universe like everything these days. Speaking of which, they're making an all-female Ghostbusters and then an all-male Ghostbusters and then some type of prequel. And how about we start with a good Ghostbusters? Because there hasn't been one since the original film. Yeah, I said that. I know there's only 2 films, but no, the second one's not good. It's not. I'm sorry, it's not. Feel free to comment about that in the things below, in the comments below, if you disagree with me, or if you love my opinion. Yes, comment. So going back to animation, and in particular TV animation, we just got a press release in from Denver Comic Con, which takes place, this year over, what was it? Memorial Day weekend. Thank you, off-camera producer. Anyways, that takes place over Memorial Day weekend, and most of the important staff from Animaniacs will be there. The voices of Yakko, Wacko, and the Warner sister Dot, as well as the voice of Brain from Pinky and the Brain. There's a press release on DMGI's, which we'll link to in the video notes. And that's interesting. That's all for animation news, essentially. But GDC and PAX was last week. And the big takeaways from this event? Kind of an opinion. But developers who overpromise, overspend, and underdeliver obviously have enough free time on their hands to drape those hands in socks. People going to do what they do because it's all that they know. If all you know is antagonizing people, that's all you're going to do. And it's a sad existence. So sad. Anyways, there was better news. SteamWorld Heist is now TBA, or to be announced, 2015 instead of spring 2015, which gives Image and Form a lot more time to make the game even better. Looking forward to it. Way Forward kind of stealth announced a re-release of Shantae Risky's Revenge, but it's the director's cut that was on Steam and iOS, but made for the new 3DS and the Wii U. So you've got better assets, you've got 3D support, and finally, it won't be taking up a bunch of system memory on my 3DS. So that'll be good. That'll be really good. And that's coming out later this year. They're aiming for August, which is nice because that's about the same time as that Mutant Mud Super Challenge and a couple other things which are looking really good. And Way Forward also turned 25 years old, and we have a link to the press release about that and the corresponding sales in the show notes below. And that's pretty much it. We have some more content from our coverage of Sakoshicon's Animeland Wasabi 2015 event that we have to put up, mostly the Pokemon Q&A and a Radio DMG interview. We also have an upcoming Radio DMG Rewind. We're probably going to go with the second Kyla Bear one. And then we're going to start dipping into the Vic Nanya. Nickelodeon, okay, his stuff, which will be fun, and that'll be up soon. We also have a interview that we did with one of the people who puts that event together. Which, speaking of which, interesting this year was that Sakoshi-Con, which mostly does stuff in Alabama and on the in that area, they do all sorts of little Pokemon conventions. They essentially borrowed the Animeland Wasabi name this year, and a lot of their staff, even though they flew in a bunch of their staff. Now, there were all kinds of issues between that, so amicably, the nicest thing they said is that, well, next year these are going to be separate conventions. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. That was announced at the end of the event that Sakoshi-Con will be back next year. Animeland Wasabi, who knows? Who knows? If they will be. There's a lot more stuff happening next year. Next year's going to be pretty interesting for anime conventions. This year, you've got the stuff like Non-Descon moving to a new hotel, Denver Comic-Con being over Memorial Day weekend, and all this other stuff. It's pretty good. It's going to be a good year, and Denver Comic-Con will be sending us more press releases as they announce even more guests, and of course we'll cover those in our Newsity. And if you follow DMGIce.com's press releases, that updates fairly frequently, and we're also going to be updating or posting when those update to our Reddit, because we've had a subreddit for almost 2 years, and we haven't really used it for much. So we're going to start using that so that you can comment on articles on DMGIce and on the videos inside of that. Think of it as our bulletin board system from now on. We'll have an update where we put links to that as well as our respective Miiverses up on the website soon. So that's it. I'm your host, Will Wesley, the Mile High Mouth. This is Area DMG, and you are now caught up. Oh, if you like us, hit subscribe, hit like. Bye. You're not caught up.